So, artificial intelligence, Elon Musk, Robert Forsch, the truth and global deception, the global deception. What do they have in common? Well, we're all involved in it, and I'm actually exposing the global deception, which covers more than simply the shape of the earth. As important as the truth about that is, that's only part of what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the deception that encompasses our world, and I'm wanting to expose that. Artificial intelligence is extremely sophisticated and smarter than me, that's for sure. And one of the reasons why I put Elon Musk in there is because he is a focal point. Actually, he provides a lot of the talking points on the discussion around the artificial intelligence, the topic of it. In fact, it's a bit ironic that he talks about it in a manner of his concern of it, and yet he's creating it, or has been a big part of creating it. And so we're all a part of what he termed as a cybernetic collective, and I believe that to be true. That we're a collective of consciousness, people having a conscience, having an awareness, having a soul, having a human experience within this. We're all eternal beings having a temporary human experience. So within the context of that, we're presented information that we will base our decisions on. And by and large, what I've noticed in my own life and lives around me is that there's a lot of contradictions. Why couldn't I do the things that I believed I should do? And why was I doing stuff, behavior, why was I doing things that I believed I shouldn't do any longer? And so I was a living contradiction of sorts, and what I have done is created a playlist. It's my like video playlist, and I update that daily pretty much. And I want to tell you, I saw it's like 2.5 hours of Joe Rogan and Elon Musk. And Elon has got to know that he's faking humanity, much of humanity out, with imagining, he's launching their imaginations into space with SpaceX. He's got to know. I would think he would have to know. And yet he's a really likable kind of guy. I mean, his mannerisms, the way he talks about things, from his not a flamethrower, but his big torch and boring holes under Los Angeles and creating Tesla and self-driving cars and trucks and all of that. Pretty fascinating things, and he's a fascinating individual. Oh my gosh, I've got I believe a NASA shirt coming at me right now. Oh yes, I do. There we go. That's kind of interesting. So NASA also knows that they're launching our imaginations into space. They're aware of that. It's largely an adult fantasy that's more cerebral, yet that affects all ages. The moon landing hoax, I remember exactly where I was when I saw that 50 years ago. I'm 57 now, so we're coming up on the 50th anniversary of that event. I was holding on to a black and white TV in Menominee Falls, Wisconsin. kind of an interesting time in human history. Good morning. And so what I want to talk about too with this cybernetic collective and artificial intelligence is that an effective deception encompasses so much, or it can. For example, having somebody that's endearing. Elon Musk is an endearing individual, and he's extremely intelligent, very successful financially, obviously, and yet why would he be perpetuating the global deception? Why would he do that? What is he actually? Is he a little bit more augmented reality than maybe most of us are? You know, Joe Rogan and he were joking about it. Actually, Elon said himself, he actually said these words, "I'm an alien." How do you do it all? I'm an alien. Well, the Bible says that God's children are foreigners and aliens in this world. And then we've got the fallen angels that are part of this whole interaction that we have in humanity, what we see around us. I'm going to go ahead and pan around. The sun would have appeared here about almost a half hour ago. This is Cherry Grove, actually North Myrtle Beach specifically here. That's the Mar Vista, and the Wyndham is in the middle of the view there. The Cherry Grove Pier is in the middle of the view, and we've had quite a bit of rain, at least recently. A few inches, I would say about 3 inches. And as we live close to the ocean here, it's pretty easy for that water to just run out to sea through the rivers and that. However, as flooding happens, flash flooding happens, it's the tidal activity is definitely a factor here, because it will cause the water to not have a place to go when the tide is high. It'll go, but just it's going to be a lot closer to the sea level, which can be a real problem. We have had some serious flooding here, and in the Midwest we've got a lot more serious flooding. So artificial intelligence is actually modifying the weather, and it is doing the majority of the trading on directly the trading on the world stock markets. And then to complement that, it's providing information to manipulate the rest of humanity to do its bidding. Wow. So imagine, and creating money out of thin air. All that being said, that's a powerful combination. How will you be able to overcome that? How will you be able to make a decision that's in your best interest with all that going on? So I've got rain coming in. I should have brought my umbrella. I think what I'm going to do is just walk on in. I'm not going to end it and bag the broadcast. This will be a bit of a test. The P1000 is not a waterproof device. The iPhone 10 actually is pretty good. I think what I've got to do is